staying in Canada for some months. My visitor's visa was about to expire and they told me I would have to leave Canada. But instead, I got approved to stay longer, and I did it all by myself with no lawyer. And I'm here to show you guys exactly what I did, how I did it, so if you find yourself in that position, you will know exactly what to do. Hi guys, you're welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name is Chinell and I'm happy to have you here. In this channel, we'll talk about life in Canada, immigration, motherhood, and everything in between. Today, I'm sharing how I got my Canada visitor's visa extended. Yes guys, I came into Canada as a visitor and I got my visa extended. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step method I took to do that online, and also give you guys four tips to get approved quickly. So now let's get into the video. If you're visiting Canada and you're planning to stay longer, this video is for you. So just stick with me to the end and let's get right into it. First things first, to extend your stay in Canada, you need three things. First one is that you're still in Canada before the expiry date. Secondly, your visa shouldn't have expired. You need to be at least a month or two before the expiring date. And then thirdly, you apply ideally 30 days before the visa expires. When you apply on time, you are protected under what is called maintained status, which means that you can now stay in Canada until a decision is made. So now let's get into the documents needed. The first document you need is your passport. Of course, we know that without our passports, we can't do anything. So the first document is your passport. Then the second document is your visa. That's the visa that you have, the one you used to come into the country. You're going to get a scan of that or a screenshot of that, and then you will need it for the application. The third thing that you're going to need is proof of funds. You need to show that you are able to support yourself in Canada while you wait for a decision. You need to show that. Also, you need to show where you live. You need to show that you have a house. You're showing somewhere that, oh, I have where to live while I wait for the decision, or I have where to live even when my visa is extended. I have a place to live. So you need to have the proof of funds, as I said earlier, and proof of where you're living. Another thing you want to have is an explanation letter explaining yourself, telling the visa officer why you want to stay longer in Canada. What's your reason for staying in Canada? What's your purpose? For instance, I extended my visa because I had other applications I was waiting for. So I had to say, oh, I have a work permit I'm waiting for. I also have a spousal PR that I'm waiting for. So you need to be able to state exactly why, the purpose of which you want an extension. And also any other supporting documents. For instance, for me, I had my husband state that, oh, okay, it was the reason why I came in, and it was the reason I'm going to be staying with him. So it's just another supporting document. Maybe the person you're staying with, the person that invited you to Canada, can also help by giving another letter, a supporting letter to just back it up and say, okay, I invited this person, and then this person has this purpose or that purpose for staying over. And when you have all those documents, you just go ahead and apply online. So now let's go to the online application process. I applied through the IRCC portal. That's the regular portal that we use for different applications. You just have to pick out exactly what you want to do, but everything starts with the IRCC portal. And I use the form called IMM 5708, which is application to change conditions, extend stay, or remain in Canada as a visitor. That's the title of the form: application to stay or to remain in Canada as a visitor. So when you put all the documents together, you filled it, and then you've gone ahead to upload it, you would get a reply from IRCC, which is a submission confirmation. And this submission of confirmation is going to state that you're now under what? Maintained status. So once you get that, no need to worry anymore. Just relax and wait for a decision. Like I said in my other video, when I was talking about how I had my baby in Canada, I was saying that I was getting worried because I had to leave the country after 6 months. That's the way it is in Canada. And I'm sure in other countries, I'm not sure, but yeah, once you stayed in the country for 6 months, when you're on visitor's visa, you need to leave. If not, you would become illegal. And that's you overstaying your stay, and then you won't be able to get into the country anymore. You will put a ban on you for overstaying your stay. So in my situation, I was pregnant and I didn't want to leave Canada, because leaving, what would that mean? I would come back, I'll come back as a visitor. It's going to cost money, finances, paying for another flight, So that's why this extension is very important. If you find yourself in my position where I was waiting for my spouse PR to come out and also my work permit, I'd applied for these things and they were just taking forever. I think at that point, it was just taking a few months and getting confused, not knowing what to do. But this year is the secret. Many people don't know this. I was talking to someone and she was like, she doesn't even know that a visa can be extended. A visa can be extended. So you just need to follow these steps and your visa would be extended. Okay, so back to the application. So after applying, it took a few weeks. I think it took almost a month, maybe 4 weeks to 5 weeks, and I got my letter from IRCC saying that my extension has been approved, and I was given 3 months. You might be given 1 month. I hear some people are given 1 month. I hear some people are given 2 months. I hear some people are even given 6 months. It just depends on your situation and your reasons and how you're able to write your letter. Do you understand? How you're able to write your letter, how you're able to convince the officer reading it that, okay, this is what you're waiting for, that kind of thing. And also I heard that even if you were given maybe a month or 2 or 3, you can even apply again for another extension. For instance, if what you're waiting for has not come out, you have proof. You need to have proof, not just writing it. You need to have proof that, okay, I'm still waiting for my work permit. I'm still waiting for my spousal visa, or whatever visa it is that you're waiting for. You need to have proof. You don't just say things like that. You need to have proof. You need to show that you are actually really waiting for something. And if you're able to do that, you get an extension and also a double extension. When I mean double extension, after the extension, if it expires, another extension. If you're able to show what everything is, you prove it that truly what you're saying is true. And now we'll move to my top tips. My top tips to get you approved. I told you earlier I had 4 tips for you. So these are my top tips to get you approved in no time. One of the first things you need to do is to apply early. You need to apply early. For instance, you need like 6 months, right? 6 months before you have to leave the country. But if you need to apply at least maybe month 4, when you realize, okay, what you're waiting for is taking time. Maybe after the 4th month, you go ahead and apply. So for me, I think I applied at 5 months. Yeah, when it was 5 months, when I saw that, oh, this is not looking like it's going to work out on time. The work permit is not looking like it's going to come out on time. At that point, I decided to apply. So once you apply early, at least a month, 30 days is the minimum. Not 20, not 29, at least 30 days before. So my tip is for you to at least try 40 days before, that kind of thing. You apply way before your visa is to expire. That way you're going to, get approved. That's one of the tips I think it will help you get approved. So my second tip is for you to show proof of funds. Show your proof of funds. Show that you can take care of yourself in Canada. We have so many homeless people in Canada. We all know that. We have people that just roaming the streets. We have people that have declared asylum or one thing or the other. And one of the reasons why they do this is because they don't have where to stay. So one thing you need to show is that you're not going to be one of those people. You need to show that you can take care of yourself in Canada. So that's very, very important. Also, you need to write a strong letter of explanation explaining your purpose for staying in the country. You need to explain yourself very well. You need to state, you need to show evidence, not just stating it. Evidence that you have the application and you're waiting for the approval, rather. You're waiting for the approval. You'll be able to show maybe you show the confirmation of application or something that would show that, oh, truly this person is not lying. You understand? So you need that letter of explanation to be written very well, very, very strongly. And you can do this all by yourself. I did mine all by myself. Yeah, and you also can do it all by yourself. And then my fourth tip is for you to keep copies of everything. Keep copies of everything, the submission confirmation, everything that you have, even from the beginning of your visa process. You need to have a file that you put all your documents in from the very beginning of the visitor visa application. From when you're in your country, you need to have a file that you keep everything in, because you never can tell what documents will be needed to prove that you need an extension. So you need to ensure that you keep all the documents safe. Okay, so that is my 4 tips, and I hope you've learned something from this. I hope this video helped you understand how you can extend your visitor's visa in Canada. You don't need a lawyer. It's totally doable. You just need to get all your documents, be organized, be honest, and then you go online and apply, and everything is going to be smooth. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section, and I'll answer based on my experience. If you're thinking of coming to Canada, please watch my video on how I was able to get my visitor's visa approved in just 8 days. That video would help you. And you should also watch my video on how to write a purpose of travel letter that gets your visa approved in no time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who might need it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.